My goodness. Okay. Good evening, folks. I'm so glad you're joining me. Oh, let's see who's here. Carol. Hi, Carol. Thanks for joining. Rose, Heather, Joyce, Linda, Clarissa, Yvonne. Wow. Bunches of people here already. Thanks for joining me tonight. I thought we'd just um, do a little stitching and have a little chat and see what's going on in the world. Hello, Melissa. I gotta make my chat window a little bit bigger here. Hold on. Cause, oh, maybe here. Okay, I thought I had this all set up, but it looks like Lee. Okay. All right. Oh, I moved it. Sorry, guys. Oh, okay. When have you known me to not have some technical difficulties? So it might be. Oh, phooey. Oh no, wait. Here we go. Here we go. There we go. Oh my goodness. Technical difficulties always. Chrissy, hello. Ghislaine, hello. Yvonne. I know. Always, always. I can't ever start a stream without some technical thing going not so right. Oh, wow. So, wow, I am so glad you guys are all joining me this evening. This is wonderful. And in case some of you are not aware, I tried to post it Well, I posted it on YouTube, but I am streaming to both YouTube and Twitch this evening. So it's something a little bit different. So I haven't figured it out. Yeah. So some of you will have to bear with me as I'm still, no, not still. I am learning how to do Twitch. So that is, I did it once before, but it's been, oh, let me see, about a year ago. So I have to refigure it out, you know? So for those of you who are joining from Twitch, welcome. And I hope you find something interesting. And I hope you find something interesting here. Hi, Fran. Welcome. Maria, welcome. Oh my goodness, I'm so glad there's so many people here tonight. That is just wonderful. So I'm going to switch cameras and we're going to do some stitching. Uh, I am stitching on um, Heaven and Earth Designs, Home Driver. Oh, let's see, that's a little bit not too focused. Let's see. Did I? Hold on again. I hope. Oh. Okay. That should be okay. See, here we go, guys. Technical difficulties. Technical difficulties. Always something. That's Oh, Linda, you don't know what Twitch is? Twitch is another how can I say it? It's another place where people live stream. Hi Diane, welcome. It is another place where people live stream, and it's usually a lot of gamers use it, but there are more and more people that are, ooh, hold on. There we go. There are more and more people that are cross stitching and doing their live streams from there. So yeah, so I think if I remember correctly, I believe that let me think. Bendy Stitchy is oh phooey, what did I just do? There we go. Oh lordy. Bendy Stitchy is streaming from there, as well as I think Kaylee Cross Stitch has done some. Okay, now let's adjust here just a little bit. There we go. See, guys, always we have these little bitty, not little bitty, but I thought I had this all set up, and then you know what happens? I set it up and I I came back later. You like YouTube the best? I'm kind of thinking I do too, but I thought I'd give this a try since so many others are doing it. So you guys know me, always something a little different. I always have to, I always, I always have to check it all out, you know, just because, first of all, it's to see can I for really do it. um, there we go. I'm not so sure why that camera isn't. See, that camera should be a little bit bigger, but it's not. So, yes, I did do quite a few stitches. I now have, oh, that can't be right. Oh, that's because I have the wrong pattern pulled up here. I was working on Frosty earlier. I have 1,568 stitches in so far. So we'll just do. Oh, Heather, that's funny. No, I'm really not. Heather says she never used Twitch. She'll have to give it a try. I'm more technologically advanced than her. No, I don't think so. Um, well, here's the other thing we need. We need the other set of eyes. Oh, guys. Yeah. Um, Not that I'm really technically advanced. It's just I like to try stuff, and it's like I'm not going to let it beat me. I will get it figured out in one way or another. And yeah, I asked my husband, I sit in front of I sit in front of the computer and I talk to myself a lot. And then he's sitting, and that's when I had my computer on a desk in the, well, we have a built-in kind of desk area, and I always had it over there, and I would sit there trying to figure stuff out, and I'd be talking to myself, and he'd look over at me and say, who in the world are you talking to? Nobody. I'm just trying to figure something out. But I'd sit there and goof around until I finally was able to do what I wanted to do. Oh, Diane, you're going to watch TV with your hubby. Well, thanks for stopping by. I'm glad you stopped by to say hi and join us again when you can. It's always nice to watch TV with hubby. I usually do that in the evening too. But tonight I thought, well, let's do a stream. Okay, you guys seem to like YouTube the best. All righty. Good to know. Good to know. Full disclosure, Stitcher, there's a quilter I know that streams on Twitch and discusses quilting shows and pics. Yeah, and there are quite a few cross stitchers doing that now. Um, like I said, Bendy Stitchy has a channel on Twitch. Kaylee Cross Stitch. Well, Dutchy, you're stopping to say hi too. Well, thank you. You're not going to stay. It's past your bedtime. Oh, well, have a good sleep. And I'm glad you stopped by to say hello. I appreciate that. That's always very kind of you guys. So, if there is anybody watching from Twitch, they haven't said anything. Well, Lee, here's the deal. I have a logical reason of why I talk to myself. I talk to myself because I am the only person that tells me what I want to hear. Nobody else gives me the answers that I want to hear. So I talk to myself. Carol, you tried Twitch, not for you. Well, you know what? I am kind of checking back over these. Oh, Nick, your maternity leave ended. Oh, was that hard to go back to work? Oh, oh, oh. Oh, Heather. Okay. I don't always know. I have not put it all together yet when, like Heather, you use yours full disclosure stitcher, and it's, I didn't realize that was you. I have not put all of that together in this old brain yet. Smiling Daisy, hello. Thanks for joining. But Nick, oh, how long were you off with your little bambino, your little baby? Oh, you work from home. Oh my goodness. Good for you. Good for you. Boy, I wish I could have done that. But yeah, nurses, they don't do too well working from home. It's not quite what you can do. Oh, so I envy that. I was able, when I had my daughter, who now just turned, on Monday, she just turned 39. And I was fortunate in the job that I had. I worked for the state, so I was a psychiatric nurse in a state institution. And um, at that time, you were allowed to use up all your vacation time before you started your actual maternity leave. So I was, well, I had gads and gads of vacation time. So I was able to stay off for 3 months on vacation time. No, wait. I had enough vacation time and then my maternity leave that I was off for a little over 3 months. And then I took 2 more months without pay. So I could be home the first 6 months, and that was awesome. But then I had to go back to work, and that kind of broke my heart. I didn't want to. Oh, Nick, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Nick took off when COVID hit. I really don't blame you at all. My daughter did the same thing. She's a school teacher, and she actually took a leave that year and was home, um, more for the fact that her kids had to do virtual school. So somebody had to be home with them. So she took a year off. And then now and when she was ready to go back this school year, she got so lucky and was able to change her job. So now she's the tech advisor. Um, and she only works part time anymore. So I was so happy for her. So happy for her. And her husband does very, very well. He's um, a software engineer. So he does very well. So she can chill a little bit and work part time. It's hard to go back after return. Yes, it is. Once I had someone say on our first day back, She had phoned home to check. She was tearful, said her husband was doing just fine without her. Oh, it's kind of disappointing, isn't it? You kind of want to feel needed. Yeah. You know what? I hope you don't either. Oh, Dutchy, you went over on Twitch. It's working? Oh, good. Good. Thank you for checking that. I appreciate that. I haven't had any comments from over there, so I didn't, it's hard to tell if anybody is there. And like I said, this is the first time I have gone live over there in quite some time. So I don't expect that there will be too much action, but we'll see. You never know, and what's my you never know unless you try, and if you didn't try, you'll always wonder, could you have done it? So what I'm stitching on tonight is home driver. Home driver. uh yeah, there's a picture of it there so that you can see what it is, and I am up there in the top right corner. So I went back to well, let's put it this way. I went back to attempting again to stitch on the diagonal, and as you see, what I was not going to go line by line. um, to be honest, I'm kind of over the parking thing of parking threads. They were making me a tad crazy, and uh, I just didn't like all those threads hanging down. I just no, just wasn't having it. So I decided 1, 2, 3. So I decided, okay, I'm going to color complete within the diagonal. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm forgetting to mark things off. But that too is the story of my life. But as you see, I am already straying from that diagonal, and I am out of my, oh, hold on, gotta wiggle this didn't, there we go. Sometimes it doesn't always come through on the on the on your screen that I mark things off or whatever. I have to sometimes jiggle it. um well, hello there, Silja. How are you? Welcome. I'm glad you're stopping by. So anyway, as you see, I'm having a difficult time staying within the diagonal. So I kind of spent the day trying to get my craft room over here a little more organized, because it really is a disaster area, and it really was starting to become something out of something out of the Hoarders show. Things were getting stacked here and stacked there, and I go to find something, and I knew I had it, but try and find it, yeah, that was a treat. So I spent the day kind of trying to organize things a little better and decide, well, maybe this is something that, do I really need it? Or no, do I even really use it? Because there are things I have here that I never used. I spent a week, mind you, organizing my embroidery floss. Oh my God. Organized it and inventoried it. And I don't know if you can see it. If I try and turn my camera, I might lose it. But it is, you can see it back here on this rolling cart. There's a container on the top, and then right underneath, there's more. And then there's 2 drawers. Now, they are all in baggies, and they are all in numerical order. And I inventoried the number, like how many I have of each color. How did this happen? How can you possibly have some numbers that you don't have any thread for that color number? And then you go to some numbers where you have 15 skeins of the same color. What the world? How did that happen? I don't know. So now at least I use that, what's it called? X Stitch app on your phone. And I inventoried all my thread so that I can now check that before I go and buy the color again. I mean, seriously, if I already have some, I only had 10 of, but some I had close to 15 of. So if I have 15 skeins already, why in heaven's name am I buying another skein of thread of that color? No. Mm-mm. Carol, you strayed from doing the diagonal, now you're trying to get back, and you're never straying again? Can I chuckle? Needle Ninja! Oh my heavens! I saw your video yesterday, and I have to tell you, I am so glad, so happy that you are back. I am so sorry that you had troubles, but I am so happy to see you back. We missed you, and and wondered where you were. I was worried, and I didn't know exactly. I didn't know how to get a hold of you because I didn't. I was going to put a note on your last video, but I wasn't sure if you were checking there or that you would see it. Oh, but I was worried, but I didn't know how to contact you. So please know that you were thought of and you were terribly, terribly missed. Nicole, I am, well, kind of what I'm doing now is I'm going back up here and I'm finding whatever color isn't stitched yet. Now here I have one that's not stitched, but that color is in the next diagonal, so I'm just going to save it. But I'll look what this one is, and then I'm going to stitch that color and just run my thread until I have no thread left or there's no more of, I've stitched all of that symbol. I'm trying to stay within the diagonal as much as I can. However, I will, like this, jump around a little bit to finish the thread. I'll tell you why. Um, you guys that watched my March video, um, I got these floss book pages. I think Darren Dizzy Stitcher also showed them. These, well, here, let me switch cameras again and then I can. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. Swap cameras. Here we go. I got these and I love them. They keep my floss so much nicer. Now I do have a notebook. I want to put them in a notebook, and that will be delivered. What's today? Wednesday. Should be here tomorrow. But what I find annoying is if I have thread left, what I was doing is taking a crochet hook, and Joyce, I don't think she's on here tonight. But I was taking a crochet hook and I was going, here we go. I was going, oh, geez, light, you're awful bright. You're awful bright here. Turn you away a little bit. Here we go. I was going behind the tab, and then I was hooking the thread and pulling it behind and then looping it on, kind of like that, if you can. There. It's this way, if you can see it. It's looped on the bottom of the tab. Well, once you start getting a whole bunch of colors, doing that, okay, that gets annoying. That's almost as annoying as parked threads for me. For me. So that's the reason I decided to go back to stitching my thread until it was gone. Yeah, I like to finish the thread. I like that better. So in a sense, this method is, or what I'm doing is very similar to Stitching Mommy. It's similar, but it's different. How can I say? Stitching Mommy is also finishing the thread. And she's doing what they call what she calls a typewriter method. So, but I think she changed a little bit of how she's doing it. She was going across the whole top row. Jody, hello. You're never late. It's okay. She's going across the whole top row and picking her colors. And then once she's worked her way down a little further, she's looking at what's the highest open space that needs to be stitched. So in a sense I'm doing that, but in a sense I'm kind of trying to stay in the same diagonal that I'm working in. So once I finish that diagonal, yes, I'll have other stuff going down here, But once I finish this, um, then I'll start the next diagonal and do the same thing. But I think she changed her method and she was going to do it by the 10 by 10 block. But don't quote me on that. Oh, that's right, Jody. It is your birthday today. I would sing to you, but oh, that would be a terrible, terrible thing. Because I can't carry a tune in a bucket. Needle Ninja overwhelms. Oh, yes, we did miss you. And I'm sure it is overwhelming, but know that you are loved. Hello, Liz. Just joining in, too tired to stitch right now. Well, that's okay. That is quite all right. Sometimes you just gotta rest up a little bit. So that is quite okay. Just hang out with us. That's the fun part. Just hanging out. My husband's over in the living room watching TV. And I said, you know what? Wednesday nights are kind of ick TV nights. Hello, Allie. How are you? Hey, hey, hey. Back at ya. Oh, Nick, today's your mother-in-law's birthday. And your birthday. Well, you were born the same day as my daughter then, April 11th. April 11th. She was born April 11th at 9:07 in the morning. Linda, you're washing dishes. Oh, bless you. Liz, your brain might be goo. Oh my God. Oh, that's too funny. You know what? I feel like sometimes my brain is always goo. April 11th is a good birthday to have. You are absolutely right. In fact, it was Jen's birthday, and a guy that lives not too far from us, who she went to school with, and they were good. Well, they still are good friends. It was his birthday today, or on the 11th, also. So, yeah, good day for birthday. Well, hi, Joy. You just got carried away stitching and listening to my. Oh, well, I'm glad you joined us. I know. I get carried away too. Sometimes I'm over here stitching and I totally forget what time it is. And I might totally forget to eat lunch or many things. Or my husband will come over and say, do you want to eat supper now? Well, yeah. Yeah, I forget. I totally get lost in my own little world over here. Well, hi, Norma. Well, thank you. Yes, I think I do think it's coming along. I'm kind of, well, it's going to be a while until I get down to any figures. This is all going to be background for the most part. Well, these houses on the side, but you know what? It's hard to uh, tell. Let me cross this off before I forget. It's hard to tell from what I see here. I'll tell Glenn it's his turn to make lunch. He always cooks. I'm so spoiled. I am so terribly, terribly spoiled. Well, I shouldn't say he he cooks most of the time. But there are nights where I will take my turn and I will cook because it's probably something more often than not, it's something that he doesn't particularly care to cook. So then I will take a turn and cook. But most times I'm spoiled rotten. Spoiled rotten. He will cook. Okay, let me see. What do I need? 3726. Now this will be much easier when I have these in a notebook, which is, like I said, coming tomorrow. Well, hello, Crystal. I'm glad you joined us. It's your first time catching us live. Well, welcome. So glad you're here. We're just kind of hanging out and stitching, and I must be getting a little better at this because either that or the way I'm stitching is making it a little easier to, for the most part, stitch stitch and keep up with your comments. Abbotsford, British Columbia, Crystal. Well, oh, I am so glad that you are here. There's people all over the world. Have I gotten to 1% yet? Let me tell you. Liz, no. I am at 0.42%. Would you believe I'm not even at a 0.5% yet? And I feel like I've been, well, like I said, I did not, this is the first I've stitched today, to be honest, because I was going in the wrong hole. Craft room organizing. So I didn't stitch today until I came on stream. And yesterday I worked on Jen's Christmas stocking. So that I'm at 33%. So I worked on that because I was neglecting that. So I thought, better give that a little bit of love if we'd like to have it done. Well, it won't be done for Christmas, I can tell you that now. Okay, what did I? There we go. But I thought, we better give it a little love. So I did that. And the other day I worked on my pandemic because I was just in the mood for something. I was just in the mood for something I didn't have to think a lot about. Yeah, this is really big, Liz. It is, let me think, 5, well, here, let's see. Let's do this. Boing, look, that's all I have done. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. I have to. Come on, come on. Why don't you move? Oh, hold it. I have to. Oh, it is unlocked. Well, why is it not moving? Oh, technical difficulties, technicalities. I can't move it any. Well, let's see. Let's go down to this corner and I can tell you. It is 555 550 557 by 691. Crystal, it doesn't matter. You are more than welcome to hang out. You don't have to stitch. And if you're not stitching and you're not that good at stitching, that is quite okay. Because guess what? There. It's more about hanging out, having some fun, talk about stitching. And if you feel like you're not that, don't feel that you're not good at stitching. How long have you been stitching, Crystal? Is this something that you just started doing? No, 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 no. You are not dumb. You are not dumb. If you have a question, you ask your question and you ask it here. Or you put your question on the comments in my video. Or you send me a private message, because there's no dumb question. You've been stitching for 6 months. Well, good, good. You're just learning. We are here to help you, and you need to ask questions so that you know what you're doing. First of all, there's no right or wrong way of stitching, so don't let people lay that you're doing it wrong on you. You're doing it your way, or what works for you, and it's going to take you a little bit to figure out what works for you, whether you're stitching a full coverage or whether you're stitching something that's not full coverage. But if you have questions, this is the place to ask. And anybody that has followed me for a while, or even people that have just started following, will tell you I'm all about people asking questions and helping people learn how to stitch, or helping them figure out what is the best way for them. Well, hello, Tori. Long time no see here. And you're here on YouTube as opposed to Twitch. That's good. You know what? I don't have any. And isn't that the truth, Tori? We all have questions from time to time. I even have questions. So don't, and I, will usually try and find an answer. It's okay. Ask your questions over and over. It's fine. We don't, like I said, this is a no judgment zone. And again, people who have been with me for a while, and I've been on YouTube for quite a while doing videos, and I guess maybe it's only the last maybe the last year that I've done live streams. Um, but that's why I do these, so that I can help people and answer their questions. And if I don't know the answer, I'm going to be the first one to tell you, you know what? I don't know, but let's find out. So don't be afraid to ask. And so what if you ask many times? It doesn't matter, because see, that's the other thing. How many times have many of us listened to a video where someone was maybe teaching something, or went to a class where someone was teaching something, and at the time it all made perfect sense. It You understood it at that time. Then you go home and you go, oh geez, what did she say? How did she say to do this? And you can't remember. So what do? You find someone to ask a question. So it's okay. So you ask as many times as you want. The other part of that is sometimes when you ask a question and someone explains it, you might not quite understand what they're trying to tell you. So you need to ask the question again, and then either that person or the next person needs to explain it in some different terms until we finally get to something that makes sense and you understand, and you can then carry on. So don't ever feel bad. Don't ever feel bad. This is the place to ask the questions. Yes, Tori, that's absolutely true. You'll find a way that works for you. There's no right or wrong. Yeah, and I think that's true of all of us. That's true of everybody. We've taken a little bit from one person and a little bit from another person and put it together and did what worked. And I've told this many times. I was very intrigued by the diagonal stitching, and I watched Brian of Blitz Stitch and the way he did it, and it was like, "Ugh, I can't wrap my head around that. I understand what he's trying to do, but to do his method was not clicking with my brain." So I took that concept, and instead of doing my stitches vertically the way he did, I stitched them. I did my regular horizontal rows. And to be perfectly honest, that's when this channel took off. When I did videos on how I was doing diagonal. So you see, you take something from somebody, and I did a little bit of research on different websites of stitching full coverage, and you come up with your own. Oh, Needle Ninja. I am so glad you enjoyed your morning coffee this morning. That makes me feel so good. And you have a lovely day, a wonderful day. And again, we are just so glad you're back. So, love to you, and I look forward to your next video. But thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate all you guys stopping by. Well, good morning, James. How are you? Nice of you to stop by. Thank you. Nice to have you here. Oh, okay, Tori, what to do doesn't fit the mood. Take a break. You're right. But don't get disturbed. Exactly, Tori. You take a break, but you don't give up. We are here to help you. And not just, I mean, we are here to help everybody. And I talked about that in a previous video that, some of us older stitchers here just need to take some people under, or take the newer ones under our wing and say, you know, how can we help you? What do you need to know? What can I what can I teach you? What can I show you? And it just upsets me when I see, like, on Facebook or whatever, somebody somebody criticizing, especially a new stitcher, of, oh my God, you can't do it that way. Oh, that's wrong. In fact, do you guys watch Stitch Ilanka? Oh, if you don't, you got to go watch her. She is such a treat. I love her videos. But she was talking about just that same thing when I watched hers. I think I watched it yesterday. She just put up her English version and her German version of her floss tube. And she was talking about um, having been to a retreat, and there was an older woman there who must have been watching her stitch and told her that, oh my goodness, you are stitching wrong, that the way you are doing your X's is wrong. Well, now, if you notice, she's, first of all, she's left-handed as opposed to being right-handed. I'm right-handed. So when I do my X, I go from the bottom left corner to the upper right corner, and then the bottom right to the upper left. So when Ilanka stitches, her X goes from the bottom right to the upper left, and then the bottom left to the upper right. So her top stitches, just her X's are just the opposite of what mine are, or what a lot of people's are. I mean, I learned it from a book, just like everybody else, a lot of other people my age. We had a book and it said, this is how you did the X, so that's how we did it. And this woman told her, no, 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 you're doing it wrong. You have to switch it to the other way. And, seriously, why? Why? It's still an X. It's still an X. They all crossed in the same direction. And really, is that a rule? I think it progressed to that. But when you look at the little girl samplers from back in the really cave days, back in the 1700s or wherever, those little girls didn't cross their X's in the same direction. They just made an X. So, yes, in modern times, it progressed to having your X's all crossed in the same direction, because it's a play on the light, the way the light hits it. So it looks more consistent and more even because the light is hitting all the stitches in the same way. Where if they were crossed differently, the light play would throw it off. You always wondered what was considered left-handed stitch. I mean, it's just a person that stitches with their left hand. Like I'm right-handed and I'm not two-handed stitching tonight. I probably should be because I'm kind of getting in the screen here. But left-handed stitching is just people that are left-handed, and they might stitch their X's just the opposite of what a right-handed person does. They also would probably start on the right side of their fabric as opposed to those of us that are right-handed and start on the left side. So, and even that can go either way. It depends on your stitching style. So if I were going to do the sewing method, and if any of you watched Jean Farish, she showed a sewing method where you scoop, and her back, the line on the back is horizontal instead of vertical. So to do that method, you really have to start on the right side of your fabric and work towards the left. And then when you need to come back across, because it's stitching one X at a time, you have to turn your fabric 180 degrees or flip it completely upside down to stitch back across the next row. So it depends on your stitching style. Those people, if you're right-handed, you're going to start on the right side of your fabric. If you're left-handed, to use that style. She had a name for it. I want to say Victorian cross is what I want to say, but it could be wrong. But she has a video on it. But if you're left-handed, you're going to start on the left-hand side. And there are people that are left-handed, but they stitch the same way as a right-handed person. So again, everybody has their own style and they find what's comfortable for them. So now I'm kind of behind here on my little chat. So if I miss any of you, I'm sorry. Liz, you took a 10-year hiatus when there was no YouTube or Facebook, so you're pretty much just trying to figure it all out. Fast forward and turns out I had been doing it wrong. No. You were not doing anything wrong. You were doing you. Bottom line, do you. Guess what? Those pieces are on my wall. Like the ones done right. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Consistency is really the only thing that if you're going to have anything matter, it's being consistent. And that's it. Whatever you choose to do, just be consistent. And having fun, of course. Yeah, and Carol, you're right. It just depends on how you learned. I was self-taught, to be honest, and I just did what I thought you should do. Top left corner of the fabric, and you work stitches the same way. Yeah. See, and everybody, so I mean, that just proves the point of there's no right way and there's no wrong way. There's only your way, and you do what works for you. So, all that being said, ask your questions. Ask your questions. This is the place. And for those of you, I did catch those little things about Karen being a teacher, yada yada yada. But thank you for that. I mean that means a lot. I try very hard to explain things as I know them and as I do them in a way that will make sense for other people. I I just do me. Just do me. I often say, what you see is what you get. Yes, Carol, you're right. Back in the cave days with the dinosaurs, books were the only way to learn. And you know what? Some of the books that I had that were, well, they were pattern books. I mean, they were books that had graphs, charts in them. Um, they certainly by no means were charts like we have today, not by any means at all, but they had basic instructions in them for how to stitch. And oh, golly, that goes back years ago when some of you were too young to know about, well, maybe they're still around. Back in the day, there was a little kit that was an owl that if you wanted to learn to cross stitch, but you, oh, you can tell it's summer, the noisy cars are out. If you wanted to learn, but you didn't want to invest a whole lot until you figured out if cross stitch was something you're going to like and want to do, there was a little kit of an owl, and it was just a little thing, and I think the fabric count was like 14 count, and you did this little owl. And that's how we learned. That's the directions were there. You know, you had a little diagram that was numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, and that was the order that you did your stitches, and that's how we learned to stitch. Now, I don't know if those little owl kits are still around today, or that you if you can find them today, but they were. Linda, you bought a kit and learned that way. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I dived off the deep end, and a gal that I worked with brought me some 22 count fabric, and I had a chart. It was the four seasons, and it was in either a good housekeeping magazine or Woman's Day or one of those magazines. And I stitched it on 22 count over one with one strand of floss. And that was my very first cross stitch, to which I don't ever know what happened to it. I lost it a long time ago, or it got lost in a move or whatever. But those were the first things I stitched. Yeah, back of magazines purchased at the grocery store. That was about, yeah, there wasn't much. There wasn't much. And the the charts that you had to choose from, well, let's just suffice it to say that you probably would not pick them today. Well, hello there, Stitchbug Back. How are you tonight? I'm so glad you joined. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. I saw you put a did I see a video from you up today? I don't think I watched it yet. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Oh my goodness, it's almost 8 o'clock in the morning there. Oh my. You are in Japan? Am I right in that? Oh, oh. But I do watch your videos. I like your videos. Sometimes it's just nice to have a video on of somebody stitching and maybe they're not always talking. Maybe they're just playing music, whatever. Those are nice too. And I often wonder, normally when I do stitch with me's, of by the way, Jody, I have 60 stitches so far in the last hour, believe it or not. So I am getting to stitch and not just sit here yakking. Pardon me. But do you guys, what the stitch with me's, do you prefer the talkies or do you prefer music or do you prefer a little bit of both? Because sometimes, I can pretty much yak about anything, as you guys have probably already figured out. And I can ramble on and on and on. I know, Jody, you always try to keep me in check so that I get some stitching done. Thank you. um, but sometimes I think I'm not music. Yours is too loud. Well, that was my own mistake because I didn't realize that it was loud, and I have since tried very hard uh, to not have it too loud. I know that one was terrible. Was terribly loud. I had no clue until later, and somebody said uh, that it was way too loud. So I think on that one, I actually put a warning: turn your sound down. But I would try very hard to, uh, oh, phooey, um, not have the music too loud. Ah, and that makes sense too, Liz. That makes sense too. It's always, and I always like to ask it periodically because, there are people that like the talking, and there are people that like the music. Uh-huh. So, I just like to check in on that every once in a while. Yeah. Heather, that's true. Yeah. And I think that is the consensus, Tori, that people just like the talking. And like I said, I can pretty much ramble about pretty much anything for now. Can I always fill hours and hours and hours? Um, Probably not. So there would probably be some dead space. Well, stay at home Stitcher, welcome. I'm so glad you were able to join us tonight. Yeah, this is why. Yeah, you're right, Beth. Feels more like visiting. And you know what? I feel like when I do the talkie thing, I um feel like I'm sitting with a group of stitchers, and I started calling you guys my stitching family because you all feel like family. So it's like I'm sitting with my family having a nice little chat and stitching. Tori, your Valky Patoki stand came. Oh, wow. You are so lucky. Oh, that's wonderful. I talked to Michael um, last week. Last week, I sent him an email. Um, I don't know because mine is a floor stand, so it's much bigger than this. What I'm working on now is my mini stand, but I have a floor stand ordered, and that's what I'm waiting for. Um, but Michael told me I sent him an email, not even asking about my stand. I was asking more of, "Are you guys okay?" You know, my stand will come when my stand comes. I was more worried that I was more worried that they and their families are okay. Um, and what he said is he's okay, his family's okay. Half of his workforce is out fighting the war, the other half is still there at the factory. However, if they need to, that that half those factory workers will also go out and fight. Oh, Heather, enjoy your supper. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for stopping by. Um, but when he ships larger things again, mine will be shipped at that point in time. Now, I'm worried because he's in Dnipro and or he's well, I don't know that he's actually in Dnipro, the city. What he said is they have their own land. So I'm kind of assuming he might be on the outskirts of Dnipro. And the Dnipro airport was bombed. Um, and things are moving in that direction. So I was just more worried that they're okay. And then he said my stand will ship once he can be confident that the bigger shipments are going to go through. But he said he is shipping the mini stands, and they are getting out and being delivered. So hopefully that means maybe my stand will come. I hope so. You didn't get any news on it for 2 months, and yours was a mini. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, and I just worry for them. I just worry. Breaks my heart. Yeah, I hope he does too. I hope he does too. So, yeah. So we're just hoping for the best. And I think that, that's all we can do at this point in time. So, I told him, I said, you know what? My stand will come when it comes. Lives are far more important than my stand. Speaking of, has anybody seen or heard from Luda? Stitching, is it Stitching with Luda? I haven't seen anything from her in quite some time. I just wondered if anybody else did. I know there hasn't been a FLosstube in quite some time from her, so was also wondering if she's okay. It's, yeah, what can you say? What can you say? Yeah, Tori, and would you believe I paid for my stand back in September and it was supposed to ship in October, but then oh, I don't remember what all, if it was still pandemic stuff and people being out because of that. Yes, I did see Teresa Little Stitcher's video. Yes, I'm so glad that she was able to put one up. I mean, I had talked to her um privately, and she said she was going to try and get one up before she went for her hip surgery. So I'm glad she was able to do that. That's great. Oh, Stitchbug, you like talking more. If you were good at English, you would talk. Oh, well, you know what? You don't have to be good at English. You could just talk what you can. Just do a little bit at a time. Yeah, that's all I heard, Carol, too. The last one I saw, she was staying in Kiev, and um, that's why I wondered if anyone has heard from her, if she's okay. What am I wearing over my glasses? Well, I'm wearing a pair of cheater glasses over my glasses. So I have my glasses, and then I have my cheater glasses that I put on top. So my normal prescription glasses are bifocals, and then I use a 3.5 pair of cheater glasses on top, and with that, I am able to see just fine. So there are other what are they called? They're on Amazon. I bought, and I was gonna put it on. I was gonna put them on, and I didn't. Um, it's like a headband kind of thing, and it has magnifying glasses in front that I got on Amazon. So if you just check magnifying glasses with lights, there's a whole bunch of different kinds on Amazon, and the ones that I have work. Actually, they work really great. Um, but they make me look really silly. Let me see. I think I have them right over here. Hold on. Oh, are they here? No. Oh, stiffness. I sat too long. Here we go. Oh, my body. Okay, for you young folks, don't get old. Yes, they have 5 changeable lenses. Virtual. So here, I'll switch these, and I'll switch cameras, and you can see how silly these look. So what I normally have, or what I oftentimes, better go this way, wear is my regular glasses, and I put these over like this. So that way I see. But I bought these things. Okay, here. I bought these things. So I can put these over my glasses like this. However, they fit better if I take my glasses off and I wear them like this. And look, they have this little light. So, if you want to laugh at me, let me move my camera a little bit. There we go. If you want a good laugh while I'm stitching, I'll wear these. But these are, I have to put these glasses back on so I can see. I really don't need them for distance. I just need them for the bifocal, for close. And yeah, the lenses just snap out. These are a 2.5. So without my glasses and a 2.5, I can see it rather well. Oh, no wonder I can't see. Those are the wrong glasses. Oh, the horrors. There we go. Yeah, very funny looking. Well, hi, Jackie. I also have, where are they? I thought I put them, I guess I didn't put them up there. Oh, I don't know where I put them. I thought they were there. See, this is what I mean my craft room needs organized, because I can't find anything. I can't find anything. But they're the ones that they're white and they have a thing that sticks out in the front here that has a light on it, and the glasses are out here further, and they just don't fit on my Tori. Oh my god. The second pair of glasses, the name Bug is very applicable. Oh. Oh my god, that's so funny. I love it. And you do know that that is my last name, don't you? That is for really my name when I say. Oh. Oh, Lee, that's wonderful. You heard from Luda, she's okay. Oh, thank heaven. Thank heaven. I have often wondered if she was. So that is so good to know. So good to know. Well, hi Candy. Welcome. I'm so glad you're joining. And Jackie. Oh. Yeah, the white ones. I have them here somewhere. And once again, this is the reason we're cleaning up this or organizing this room, because I can't find Jack when I want to. No, it's around somewhere, but I don't know where. It's okay. It is what it is. So for tonight, instead of wearing these, I'm wearing these because I can look foolish, but I didn't want to look super foolish. Oh, you found it. Oh, to use a rotary cutter. Oh my goodness. And she has a sewing room organization. That's great. Oh, I might have to check that out. Yeah, Jackie, I didn't pay that for mine. I didn't pay $50 for mine. I got mine off of Amazon, and to be honest, these, oh, where did I go here? There I am. These, the headbandy type ones, the black ones, I think they were only like 18 or $20. And really, I like them better than the white one. I seriously do. Because the the white ones are okay. Don't get me wrong, they are okay. However, they were so heavy on my nose, and I just couldn't find a way to wear them that was comfortable because they just hurt my nose. Well, Linda, have a good rest of your evening. Give that little baby a hug, and we'll catch you next time. Yeah, I got them from Amazon. Amazon is my best friend. It is my best shopping friend. Why go out and have to run all over creation to find something? And then um they don't have it. It's just as easy. Order it from Amazon. It comes right to my door. Mm. You like to stitch? I like the stitch keeper you're using. Have checked different apps, but am getting very confused. Like pattern keeper, but can't use it on an iOS device. Um, Sorry, I had to take a drink. Oh my goodness, I'm getting dry. Um, Norma, for iOS, for iOS, um, there's an app called Markup RXP. In fact, I can show it to you. Here we go, up in this little window. Okay, it is this icon here. This one. Markup RXP. It's for iOS and Android. And it does basically a lot of what I can put things that don't go in Pattern Keeper, I put in here and use them. Tori, I think you can post a link. I don't think I turned off links. I think you can post it. Um, However, if you're just going to have a small pattern like this one from By the Bay, it's great. Oh, it's a paid subscription now. Ooh. You mean you'll have to pay annually for it? Or markup RXP, Tori. Um, that's disappointing. But if you're going to put a full coverage in order for it to be accurate as far as percentage and stitch count, you have to go in and you have to delete all. It does not put the chart into one big chart. You have to go in and delete all the gray overlap. Oh, so they're changing from a one-time purchase to an annual subscription. If you purchase in the next few days, you can get it for one-time fee. Yeah, that's what I paid for mine a long time ago, the $9. So if you bought it a while ago, are you still going to have to? Oh, okay. They this morning you read, Joy, that there's a big release coming, and those of us right now get lifetime memberships. Once they release the update, it's then a yearly subscription. Oh, so that means those of us that have purchased it, because I purchased it months and months and months ago. So we get a lifetime membership, and it's anybody that's getting it that purchases it new. Okay, got it. Got it. So if you're existing user, you're grandfathered in. Awesome. Awesome. So I'm grandfathered in. Well, how about grandmothered in? I like it for, okay, here I'm in the by the bay. Their home sweet home stitch along. And I like it for those charts because those charts don't go in, at least I don't think they go in Pattern Keeper. To be honest, I didn't try. I did not. If you want to go through all the, I want it to just go in, to be honest. Um, so I use markup for things like that. But like I said, if you're going to put a full coverage in, so let me open, say, pandemic, for example, and see if I can show you what I had to do. I tried putting a full coverage in, and um, it took me all day to do what I needed to do. So, okay, on this, you see the gray overlap. First of all, it's just page by page. So you only get one page at a time. And these gray overlaps, you have to go in, like you have to go in the settings, and then you have to, okay, I can't actually show that to you, but there's adjust the grid. Well, let me go to a page maybe that I don't have any stitching on, because if I do it with a page I have stitching on, I lose all my markings. Sorry, guys. Okay, here's one. So you have to go in and you have to adjust the grid, and then you get this red, these red things, and it shows, well, this one I already adjusted, but see that blue line? If you can see it there, maybe you can see it better. That is the edge of the graph. So when I entered this blue line was up here, and it was counting those stitches. Well, that's the overlap. So on one page, you can let them in, but on the paper that, or the page that joins that, you have to take them off, or else it's going to count them twice. So I spent hours doing that. And still, after all of that, the stitch count wasn't what it should be. So then, okay. The other thing I had to do is, here there's called adjust the contrast. So I went in and I adjusted the contrast. And then when you go out, now I had already cleaned up this page, but it would show you, you have to go in erase mode, and all of these black cells, squares that show black, are actually being counted. But when I opened this, there, well, see, those would now be counted. So I had to go in and erase them so that that wasn't in my stitch count. So it is a good app. Don't get me wrong. It is a very good app. It, for something that's full coverage though, it's just a lot of work at this point in time to get it to be okay. I'm spoiled with Pattern Keeper. I want it to be like Pattern Keeper. So maybe this update's going to change a lot of things. Yeah. And you know what? For something like this, I'm too spoiled. Yeah, it is a headache, Candy. It is a terrible headache. And seriously, to buy a cheap Android and use Pattern Keeper is a lot less headache as far as I'm concerned. I actually went out and bought a Samsung. I have Apple products. My computer is a M1 Mac Mini. My phone is an iPhone. My iPad is an or my tablet is an iPad. I bought a Samsung just for Pattern Keeper, of which is going to run out of, if it suddenly, oh, no, good, I can plug it in. I was going to say, if it suddenly, you don't see my screen from my tablet, it's because it ran out of juice. Okay, now we're charging. So yeah, I bought a Samsung just so that I could use Pattern Keeper on that, and I've been very happy with it and have never regretted never regretted never regretted buying it. So, and before that I used paper, you know. Yeah, yeah. So again, it's what you want to do, you know. It's what you can afford to do, and what you're going to be happy with. Well, hi Sheila. Just to add to the markup chat, new release is also meant to sort the overlap count. Oh, good. And floss numbers. Oh, wonderful. So they can develop one page load. Okay. And that all makes sense because you know what? It's a lot of work to write the programs to do those kinds of things. It's a lot of work. So I can't say as I blame them for that. You know, they're taking the time and want something back for their time. Candy, that's exactly why I like Pattern Keeper, because the paper is too little for me to read, and with Pattern Keeper I just go like this and I can see it really well. That's all it takes. It's just like that. You know, it's wonderful. It's wonderful. I don't have to uh, print it out and enlarge it, or take it somewhere to be enlarged, or you know, it's right on my screen. I make it as big as I need it. I shrink it when I need it. You know, it's great. It's absolutely great. So, and I'm spoiled. I don't know that I could go back to paper at this point. Oh, Tori and Bethy would get along with my daughter. She's a paper person too. In fact, She will buy a hardcover book and read a book, and for the feel of the paper and the smell of the book before she will read it on a tablet. So, yeah. Yes, 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 Tori. Exactly. Um, Cross country. You know what? Here I am, Jody, talking and not stitching. However, you can yell at me. I was perfectly happy, absolutely perfectly happy, stitching on the diagonal, one line at a time, one line at a time, and parking when I was reading my patterns in Goodreader. Okay. So that's the app I used. I used Goodreader. I stitched, one line at a time. Uh, I'm trying to think. No, it didn't put the pages together. It was just it was just page at a time. And I found, I think, did I get the paid version then of Goodreader? And I was able to split a screen and butt the pages against each other. And I was a perfect happy camper doing all of that. I mean, that was fine. And then Pattern Keeper came along. And Pattern Keeper put that whole chart in one big chart. And when it highlighted the color through the whole chart. And then cross country came back to my life. It made me not want to stay on the diagonal. So, guys, for all of you that followed me because I was the diagonal stitching person, everybody watched my video and oh, it finally makes sense. It finally makes sense. And I appreciate that. I love every one of you for that. And that's what helped build this channel. But Pattern Keeper ruined me. Now I want to stitch a color till I run out of thread. And I want to not park because I can follow that color in any direction I want. So blame it on Pattern Keeper. Oh, Beth, let's see. You stitched over 45 years with paper. Yeah. You're 62 and you sometimes use Adobe for PDF charts, but yeah. And Candy, you're 57, been stitching 40 years, but also a techie. Yes, see? See? Cross country, finished your first head. Head. I call them heads and never go back. Funny, Pattern Keeper, I learned to park. Yeah, yeah. Well, I think you guys all know I'm 70. I've been stitching for well over 50 years. And I turned into a bit of a techie. So I like my tech. I like being able to enlarge my pattern and stitch with my strand until it's gone. And yeah, I'm happy. I was always a cross country stitcher um, until I started stitching full coverage on the diagonal. And I did that just because it wasn't going to beat me. No, partly that because it wasn't going to beat me. More so because my BFF started stitching the way Brian does, split stitch. And it was a competition because I said, you know what? You're not going to be able to do something that I can't do. So I had to figure out a way to do it. just because I had to be, I can be very competitive at times. So she was not going to get the best of me. I was going to do it. And that's what's, that's what did that. Yeah, we all have different ways. Yes, Tori, you're right. Crystal, are you still here? Yeah. And you know what? Even after all the years I've stitched, I am still learning new things. I change my method. As all of you know, how many stitching methods did Stitcher's Retreat have on it? More than I can count. And how many times did I change? More than I can count. Jackie, yes. Have you watched Kamari? I haven't seen her put a video up for a while, but oh my lands, can that woman stitch fast? Holy smoke. But did you see, speaking of Kamari, did you see where she showed the back of her work? I found it extremely interesting. First off, she does not start, she does not start or end a thread. What she does is she comes up through the fabric from the back and leaves a tail. Might not be a long tail, but there's a tail. And she stitches. She stitches that strand and until she either A, runs out of thread, or B, runs out of that color in the area she's working. When she's done with that, she leaves a tail. So her thought is that those tails are going to get caught up in her stitching. So she doesn't do any method of, she doesn't use a loop start, she doesn't use a pin stitch, she doesn't do any of that stuff. She just leaves a tail at the start and at the end. And you know what? If that works for her, great. Look at her pieces. They're gorgeous. Yes, it looks like a shag rug on the back. Absolutely. It's oh my. It's a mess. But you know what? Her work is gorgeous on the front. It looks beautiful when it's framed. Again, no judgment here. I mean, this is just, and she uses paper and she stitches so fast. If I had to use, first of all, if I had to use paper, I couldn't always see it. And second of all, for as fast as she stitches, I have yet to figure out how she knows where she is all the time. But you know what? It works for her. It works for her. And her pieces look gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And to think that she has finished so many. She has, I just saw it came up on my recommended feed just today, as a matter of fact. But she has a video of all the pieces that she stitched. I'm amazed. I'm amazed. It took me 5 years to stitch one. God only knows how long it'd take me to stitch this one. I'm hoping I live long enough. Yeah, she has bunches, bunches. And I assume that she stitched them all the same way. And I did see, if you look um on her YouTube, where you write a description about yourself, apparently she stitches 4 heaven and earth designs. Now, I'm not exactly sure if that's that she stitches some to put in their photo gallery or what exactly that means. Tori, no, she doesn't use a sewing method. She sticks and stabs. Two-handed, sticks and stabs. And what I did notice is, like, when I stitch two-handed and stick and stab, I'll come up, pull my thread all the way through, go back down, pull my thread all the way through. Um, what she does is comes up, doesn't pull her thread all the way through, goes back down, and then pulls it. So some of us do the opposite of that, where we'll be on top of the fabric, put your needle through, turn it right around, push it back up, and pull it. No, she uses long pieces of thread. Yeah, Tori, look her up. Look her up. It is something to see. It's amazing. It is really something to see. I was really, and there's no music, there's no talking. It's just her stitching, and it's it's almost it's almost mesmerizing. It's almost like you are drawn to, I really need to sit and watch this. Like when I watch her, I don't stitch because I'm just so taken aback by what she's doing. It's 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 just really interesting. So yeah, look her up. Komari is her channel. Oh, Beth, that's funny. You sewed in the factory and you could barely thread them. Oh my goodness. Uh, she was on when you couldn't sleep. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and I think her videos are always there, so you can always go watch. And she doesn't talk. I think if I'm remembering correctly, I think she's in Japan also. Um, and she has a notepad, and you will often see her when she does have a chat going, and people are messaging her in the chat, but I don't. Well, she's always stitching, so she's not even typing an answer, but every now and again she'll take a couple minutes and write somebody's name and say hello and that kind of thing. But yeah, there's no music, there's no talking. It's just stitching, and it's just mesmerizing to watch. So yeah, check her out. Check her out. She's young. I have no idea. I have no idea. I don't know that I ever actually seen her. Oh, she uses an interpreter. Oh, I didn't know that. I never heard her say anything. Yes, she writes hello. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I've seen. She has a little notepad there, and she'll write hello or whatever. So yeah. Yeah. I'm just, yeah, just amazed. Just amazed. Oh, electronic. Okay, got ya. Got ya. Yeah. It's just really interesting. I yeah, really interesting. But you know what? It's always fun to learn something new, and I love to watch her. But I don't think I could ever stitch that fast. As hard as I would try, I don't think I can. Well, my friends, I don't know about you guys, but this is a blast. But I'm getting tired. We've been on for 2 hours, and it looks like everybody's been from YouTube. I don't think I have any watchers on Twitch. So I don't think I can actually see that, but I can check it. Yeah, oh yeah, it's been, can you believe that? It's been 2 hours? Time has flown, yes. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna call it a night. Now, that being said, best birthday present ever. Yes, Jody, happy birthday. I'm not singing for you because no, I can't. I can't carry a tune in a bucket. How does that song go? There's a hole in my bucket. Well, there's no tune in mine. It's gone. Okay, I'm using my BenQ light in there. It's kind of dark. So I think I'm going to go, but tomorrow night, my husband, my husband is going to a meeting. No, start the song. Yeah, there's a hole in my bucket, dear Liza, dear Liza. I can't sing worth a darn. Um, so I may just, while he's at he has a hunting camp in northern Pennsylvania up near the New York border. So he has a camp meeting, and I'm thinking about just popping on for a little bit while he is at his camp meeting. So keep an eye out because you just may see me then. So I think for tonight, we're going to call it a night. And thank you so, so very much for all of you hanging out with me. I just so. What time? His meeting is at 7. So probably about the same time as tonight. Yeah, about the same time as tonight. We'll have another fun time. So probably about 6:45 or thereabouts. And I'm just going to go to YouTube this time. I'm not going to bother with. I know you probably have to go on Twitch a couple times, but I didn't have anybody comment from there. So we'll see what that did. And I don't know that I'm going to keep going on there. So anyway. Oh, it's Comari. There's no S. I'll have to look it up. Candy, I'll post her link in the Dropbox to this video for you. How's that? Oh, Jackie, you're on the West Coast. So, oh, you're 3 hours behind me. So it's only like 5 o'clock, going on 6 o'clock there. Oh, that's where my brother is. He's in Oregon. So anyway, I will catch a lot of you tomorrow while my husband is having his camp meeting. We'll have a little stitchy session. Okay? So I will see you then. Love to you all. Twitching isn't. I think that's twerking, and no, it is not a good thing. Me neither. Can you see this twerk? Who did I say to? Oh, I know. was stitching with you guys all know country stitchers, Liz and Deb. Well, they don't live too far from me, so they were all here. They were both here on Monday last week, not this Monday, but last week, and we stitched together for the day. And I said to both of them, I said, you know, this just gets so full that it spills over into this. And that's why I look like this. Oh, Sheila, 2 a.m. You need to get some sleep. You need to get some sleep. So, okay, guys, I'm going to call it a night. I'll catch you tomorrow. So, have a good rest of your day, your evening, your night, whatever it is. I love you all, and I will catch you tomorrow about the same time. Okay, till then, have a great day. Have a great whatever. See you then. Bye-bye.